Step through the doors at Cedar Springs Brewing Company and you'll be greeted by this guy. David Ringler, you're the owner here. Who is Kusterer?
Christoph Kusterer was the original German brewer in West Michigan. He arrived from the Stuttgart area through Ann Arbor and ended up in Grand Rapids about 1845, 44, 45, somewhere in there. And he was actually a trained German brewer. And he started a little brewery downtown and then moved to the Michigan Hill just below where the hospital is located now. And there had been one known brewer before him in town, an Englishman who by most accounts did not make very good beer. Kusterer partnered up with him, bought him out, and within pretty short order was one of the most prominent citizens in West Michigan. He was the Grand Marshal of the Grand German Jollification in 1871. He founded the Lutheran Church that's there on Michigan Hill, just below the hospital, if you're familiar with that. And the brewery was actually just below where the county building is today. He unfortunately passed away in 1880 on the sinking of the steamer Alpena on Lake Michigan, which is still the largest civilian loss of life on Lake Michigan, which is unfortunate because by most accounts he was a brilliant businessman and citizen and rivaled every bit of some of the brewery giants we think of with Philip Best and Ebenezer Anheuser and Augie Busch. But his sons then took over, and the name of his brewery changed from City Brewer to C. Kusterer & Sons. And they were the largest, most prominent brewery in the city until they merged with 5 other German brewers to form the original Grand Rapids Brewing Company in 1893. That was built on the site of Kusterer's brewery. They built a brand new brewery. In fact, there's a mural of that if you go to the current Grand Rapids Brewing Company downtown. They have a nice mural of that on the wall when you go inside. That's actually the 4th version of Grand Rapids Brewing Company. But that brewery grew. It was enormous. By 1912, on the eve of Prohibition, they had a capacity of over 600,000 barrels, which was 3 times the size of Founders today. They were one of the largest, most advanced breweries in the country. And unfortunately, that history is almost completely lost. The family divested. Michigan went dry before the rest of the country did in Prohibition, and the family pretty much divested. They got out. We did an exhaustive search, quite honestly, and the last Kusterer we could find died in 1964. But the family scattered and was really lost to history, and most folks in West Michigan really have no idea of the prominence and the history of what he did. We've adopted him for all of our Bavarian beers. So we do obviously a lot of German and Bavarian beers here in Cedar Springs Brewing Company. So we have taken his name and used a little takeoff on the Bavarian flag as a representative for our German-style beers.
Lost and found in Cedar Spring, Kusterer. Prost.